want to talk about the time that I was pregnant at 14 years old. And I hid my pregnancy, you guys, for 3 months. Things and water. I start making this like concoction of cleaning supplies with my urine. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Don't mind the background. My son just went to sleep, so this is my only time to film a video. It'll be a story time video. I'm gonna try not to touch my hair. Yes, real messy. I'm in my son's play area. I need to take all those downstairs. And I was like on my computer. I was on my computer and I noticed the room was quiet. And I looked up and Chosen is sleeping, so I was like, perfect time for me to hurry up, set my camera up, and film this video. It'd be like that. Like one little noise. Oh my god, he's moving. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the time that I was pregnant at 14 years old. I've always wanted to make this video. Even like before when I used to do YouTube, I've always wanted to film this video. Just because like informational, just like a story time, you know. Before we get on with today's story time, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really want to do a video with my husband, but he be acting awkward. He's shy. Yeah, so I was 14 years old. Okay, I was almost 15. I was like 2 months away from turning 15, or a month away. So technically 15, but so at the time I was a freshman in high school. I had a boyfriend, which is my daughter's dad. And obviously I was young. I was like, oh no, I'm not having kids. Like, I was into sports, like heavily into volleyball from 7th grade. Even after I had her, I still continued to go to volleyball, or to do volleyball. My son is moving. I want to do it. You know that young puppy love, whatever you want to call it. I ran away from home. I wasn't even naughty to begin with. I just like wanted to explore. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a teenager. So yeah, so I went out with my friends. Didn't end up going home. I was scared to come home because obviously I would get in trouble. And possibly I would get the rod, the stick. So I told my friends, I'm not going home. Like, I'm already in trouble. I might as well stay out. I might as well not go home. Long story short, didn't come home for like weeks. I come home, it's like close to Christmas, and I missed my period. And at first, I didn't think nothing of it. It wasn't on my mind. Like, it was a possible chance I would be pregnant. I still wasn't like worried about it, because like I was like, oh no, not me. Like, no. And this wasn't planned at all. Like, mind you, like, I did not be like, oh, I want to have a baby at 15. Like, I want to be pregnant. No, that wasn't the case. So I missed my period, and I'm just like freaking out a little bit. After like 2 weeks, I'm like starting to freak out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I had no symptoms, nothing. And my mom's very in tune, and obviously I'm thinking 10 steps ahead of her. So I tell her like, hey, I need pads, you know. She goes and buys me pads, because every month she never misses. She used to tell me like, oh, do you need pads? Do you need tampons? Like, you know, for your whatever. And I forgot to tell her. So immediately I was like, oh, I need pads. I ran out of pads. I need pads. So she buys me pads. Like, me knowingly that I don't have my period, I'm acting as if I'm using them. I think right before New Year's, I take the test and it comes out pregnant. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get in trouble. Like, I'm in a shithole now because now I really am pregnant. And I just remember that time, like when I came pregnant, I was like, I stole a test, obviously. Um, I'm not proud of it. I was 15. There's no way I'm asking my family members to buy me a test. And that's just the reality of it. I'm not lying. Like, me and my friends stole the test because I was freaking out. It was like past 2 weeks and I didn't get my period. I'm not gonna even say who it was because if they ever come across this video, they know that day we went into the store and took the test. I immediately texted it to my daughter's dad at the time, and he was like, oh my gosh, our parents are gonna freak out, this and that. I don't really remember the whole conversation, but we both were freaking out, just put it that way. And I hid my pregnancy, you guys, for 3 months. Sorry, I'm looking at this to make sure that it's like focusing because sometimes it goes out of focus, but I hid my pregnancy for 3 months. And if my mom watched this video, she would probably be like, she was gonna find out the truth because I never told her. I don't know if I did, I'm not sure, but I hid my pregnancy. Obviously, I was so young and I didn't know what to do. So I went about my life, okay? 12 weeks, went about my life. One day, and like my stomach didn't grow, nothing. Like, I was 12 weeks when my mom found out. One day, my mom texts me, I'm in school, and she's like, hey Mel, what time did you finish school? I told her 1:35 p.m. and I was already freaking out. Like, I already know my mom. God told my mom. I already knew my mom knew, right? I already knew, like, obviously you can't hide stuff. It comes out in the light one way or another. So my mom texted me like, hey Mel, what time are you finished? And I'm like, oh, 1:35. She said, okay, we're gonna go shopping after. And I was like, oh yes, like, you know. So when she texted me, hey Mel, I thought like, oh my gosh, she knows. And then my mind switched when she said we're gonna go shopping. So I was like, okay. And then get in the car. My uncle's in the car. They're gonna take my uncle food shopping, and I love going food shopping. And we get in the car. We're going to Waipahu, and in Hawaii, that's a city in Hawaii, Waipahu, and Don Quixote's was in Waipahu, and we're like passing Don Quixote, and I'm just like, where is she taking me? We pull up to this parking lot where my doctor is, and at the time my cousin worked there. She worked at the front desk. We go into the doctor. She's like, oh no, I just gotta check something, let's go. So we all go in, like everybody. We get to the front desk, and my mom tells my cousin, she's like, I'm gonna name her Jessica just for this video, but her name's not Jessica. She's like, oh Jessica, I need a pregnancy test for Melanie. My heart sank in my ass, like past my stomach, all the way down to my ass. And I looked at my mom, knowingly that I'm pregnant. I looked at her and I'm like, for what? And I immediately began to be defensive. I had a bad attitude. I was so mad, and I started to be like bad to them. I was like, oh no, I'm not taking a pregnancy test. I'm not pregnant. Like, I was like starting problems in the doctor's office. She's like, no, you're taking one. So I went out. I said, yeah. I said, you guys, I was like, you guys are gonna feel stupid. I'm not pregnant. Watch this come out negative. Da da da. But really, really, I was like, in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, literally like this, like thinking of ways how to get out of this pregnancy test. So they give me the cup, okay, and I use the bathroom. Listen, this part is just gonna be like so funny. I crack up, I laugh about it all the time. And I literally pee in my cup like this much, and the cup is this big, so I literally pee like that much, like a tiny bit, like this much. And I grab every single, so you know, like some bathrooms, they have like all the maintenance stuff, like cleaning supplies, like all this stuff. Girl, I grabbed Clorox, Windex, not Windex, I grabbed Clorox, all these other things and water. I start pouring, making this like concoction of cleaning supplies with my urine. So I'm gonna get out of this situation. Like, they're not gonna catch me. So full-blown confidence. After I give my cousin the cup, she takes the cup. Full-blown confidence that I'm passing this test. It's gonna come out negative. We go into, they sit us in the room. 5 minutes later, my cousin walks in crying, and I'm just like, oh my god, no way. I failed. It's positive. It still came out positive after I mix it with bleach, Clorox, water, and this other solution. I forget what it was, but it was like cleaning solution. I was like, no way. How? And she's like, Auntie Christy, it's positive. Melanie's pregnant. And they start crying. Nope. I'm not having this baby. I have volleyball. Like, knowingly that I already knew I was pregnant. So I put up a guard instantly, like a wall. Like, I was already like being so rebellious, bad attitude, all this kind of stuff. And my mom was like crying. She's like, I knew it. Like, Melanie, you can't hide from the Holy Spirit. She said, the Lord told me, and this and that. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I got caught red-handed. Like, wow. Okay. So the day goes on. My mom calls my daughter's dad's mom. So her grandma. They both start hysterically crying on the phone instantly, within seconds, like as if someone died. Obviously, it is a rough situation being pregnant at 15, like while you're still in school, obviously, but like they were like hysterically crying, and I was still being bad. I was like, no, no, no. Obviously, I knew I was gonna keep the baby because we're believers in Christ, so like abortions is not of God, right? And if you do believe in abortions, that's you. Um, I would like to like ask you to keep your comments to yourself. If it's nothing positive, please do not comment nothing. Just keep them to yourself, because everybody has their own beliefs, opinions. I kept the baby. Obviously, my daughter is a healthy girl. She's about to be 12 years old. So my experience being pregnant at like such a young age was crazy. I was so young. I had my whole life ahead of me. But it didn't change anything. Obviously, circumstances, yeah, it changed. I had responsibilities at 15 years old, so I had to grow up really fast. And I still had help. You know, obviously, I'm in school. I was only a freshman. I gave birth beginning of sophomore year, 8th grade year, or half of my 9th grade year, I was pregnant. I finished school. Obviously, volleyball season was over by the time that I got pregnant. And then as soon as I gave birth, I jumped in back into volleyball. And luckily, I had my family to help me watch my daughter so that I could finish my sports and school. And you know, it was hard, not gonna lie. Like, my mom would tell me like, hey, you can't go volleyball today. I'm busy. You need to stay home with Majesty. My daughter's name is Majesty. So during my pregnancy was fine. So after we found out I was pregnant, my mom took me to our OB/GYN gynecologist. We go inside, okay. I do the test. It's like bright, 2 lines. Like, that's how you know that you're pregnant. It's not no faint lines. It was like bright, like pregnant. Yes, you know. And the doctor puts so when you first find out you're pregnant, you get an ultrasound vaginally, like through your vagina, because it's going to be too small to have a belly ultrasound to get it on the outside. The doctor sticks the ultrasound inside of me, and he goes, oh, he said the baby is too big. He said we need to do a belly ultrasound. So my mom looks at me like, what? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to get caught again. Like, I've been hiding it for 3 months, for 12 weeks. So he does a belly ultrasound, and I'm 12 weeks. And so my mom starts like still crying, but like laughing. She goes, oh my gosh, Melanie, you're 12 weeks. You're 3 months already. And like, she calls my dad, my stepdad, to it. But obviously, over the weeks passed by, I accepted it and was like, you're going to be a teen mom. Like, there's no way out of it. So a few weeks later, I found out the gender. Usually people find out they're pregnant and then have to wait 10 weeks to find out they're pregnant. Literally 2 weeks later, I found out I was having a girl. My daughter's grandma at the time came with us. We found out it was a girl, and she starts crying again. And I'm over here like 15, 14 years old, or 15. My birthday's in January, so I got pregnant in December, and my birthday's January, so I turned 15 within a couple of weeks. So technically, I was pregnant. I got pregnant at 14, but had my baby at 15. I put in some baby shower pictures. I still have pictures when my daughter was born, my baby shower pictures, my belly pictures. I still have all that, so I'll insert them as I'm talking through this video. Yeah, I was in labor for like 7 hours only. I gave her like 4:30 a.m. and I gave birth within like a couple pushes. She came out and I had my baby. She's now gonna be 12 years old in a few weeks. I do not regret being pregnant. Obviously, being pregnant at that age, but I do not regret having my daughter. Like, that's my girl. And she's older now. She thinks she's old. Okay, she thinks she can. She's in Vegas right now for the summer, and she's like, "Oh, Mama said I have a room here." Okay, girl, leave the room there. You need to come back. You need to come back home to me. I let her live with her dad one time. You know, I tried to, because I had her since she was born. Like, you need to, like, people say, "Oh, you let your daughter." Yes, I do. Her dad is, she has a very good dad, and he helps. Like, never like, we have a good co-parenting. He don't ever give me a hard time, and I don't either. So, we're like, our co-parenting is like very good, and I had her since she was born. I let her go with her dad when she was 10 years old. So I had her to myself for 10 years, and I don't want to keep her away from her dad or like anybody else. So obviously she would see her dad in between those 10 years, but she wanted to live with him. And he asked me, "Hey, can Maggie live with me? This and that." I said, "Hey, that's no problem, but you need to watch what she does on her phone. You need to make sure she's doing her schoolwork, this and that." Obviously, I would pick her up from school and drop her off, or take her with us, do stuff. I had a, after I gave birth, it started to get rough. I did get diagnosed with postpartum depression. Postpartum depression, baby blues, I had that at such a young age, and they wanted me to take medicine for it, and we don't believe in that. And so I even went to the hospital for it. I had postpartum depression after giving birth to her for 3 years straight. Imagine like the thoughts, the depression, like the emotions that I went through. It was like so bad, and like nobody really knew like what I was thinking, what I was feeling. It was like so rough. I had to get prayed over. After the 3 years, I finally got like set free from those things, and I went forward from there. But long story short, I would not suggest getting pregnant at a young age. New Year came, I still had postpartum depression. I left, ended up moving to Texas, and that's where I finished school, graduated high school, got my license, and that's like a whole nother story. But your life is not ending once you have a kid. There's things that you need to sacrifice, things that you need to do. Your child comes first now, so everything else that you want to do needs to come last or second. Like, so I still accomplished, I still finished school, I still got my license, I still got a car, like I still could do things. So your life is not over when you have a kid, but it's just, it gets harder. Like, there's obstacles that you're going to face, you're going to come across when you're having a kid at such a young age. So yeah, I don't suggest it. Or if you are right now, it's not the end of the world. End of the world. Like, as long as you have help, and there's some times where I didn't have help, and it was hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the reason why I'm like, ever since I had my first kid, like, I had to grow up. So ever since I buckled down, I got my job, license, a car, like all this stuff, my own place at 18 years old. My mentality is different, like from people my age, and even like people who have kids that are younger than me, or kids that are older than me. Like, my mentality is different because I had a head start. Like, I had to grow up and be a full-blown adult at 15 years old. So I know everything on being an adult, of being a mom. I don't even know where I left off. My camera said it was overheating, so it turned off for me. I want to close out this video, but he's probably gonna get back up. Where I left off at. I'm sorry if this video is all over the place, but if you guys have any questions on anything to do with being pregnant at a young age, you don't know what to do, you need advice, any programs to help you as far as like teen mom stuff, I know a lot of things, and like free ultrasound places. I can get those information to you. If you guys want to hear my story on abortions and miscarriages, let me know. Give this video a like and I'll make that video next. Or comment down below and let me know, like, hey, can you do a story time on, miscarriages, experiences, anything like that? Let me know. I'll do it. But don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Comment, like I said, any questions to do with anything. Ask me, I'll answer them. Follow my Instagram. I'll put it on the screen. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video.